Hey guys, Josheb here again for you with another episode of the Monday Melee. This week we have a very special episode for you. We're going to be talking about the Blizzcon fights that occurred earlier this week. More specifically, we're going to be talking about the match between Team DK and Team Navi. This particular match was super important because it decided who would go on in the winner's bracket for Blizzcon, and the entire match is spectacular. If you have not seen it, please stop what you're doing, even if that means this video, pause it. Go watch the video in its entirety. I'll have it in the description, but I cannot recommend it enough. Certainly one of the best games that I've ever seen. As we join the action already in progress, you can see that Team DK has been dominating. They have a 2-level lead, and they have 100 Skull Golem and Sylvanas on their team, which means it's going to be an extremely strong push. Right now, Team DK is congregating. They're getting ready to come as a team to push with this golem, and Navi is looking in a real bad way. Similar to what we saw last week, they do have a 2-level lead, but that isn't quite a talent tier, so this looks like a good place for Navi to go ahead and jump in. Now, as Arthas casts Syndragosa, I'm going to slow the speed to 25%, and I want you to pay attention to Navi's targeting. As Sonya comes in from the bottom of the frame, she's immediately going to pop her Wrath of the Berserker, and she's going to go in on Joanna, who happens to be closest to Navi's front line. So we know who Sonya is going on, but let's take a moment and see where the rest of Navi is directing their aggression. Tyrael appears to have his eyes directed on Sylvanas, but as she waves away, he's going to turn around and turn his attention to Muradin, who is the most opportune target in the middle of 3 of Navi. Now let's pause here for one moment. Tyrael has sat through one wave of Jaina's Blizzard and decides now is the perfect time to pop Sanctification. But going with the old adage that great minds think alike, Sylvanas has also identified 3 people clumped together and thinks this is the perfect time to pop Wailing Arrow. Since we're in a game of milliseconds, the Wailing Arrow is made completely impotent by Tyrael's well-timed ult. Knowing that she can no longer be silenced, Kerrigan goes ahead and pops her ultimate and stays on Muradin. Muradin, realizing that all guns are ablazing, goes ahead and pops his avatar to lessen the damage. So Arthas looks elsewhere for a target, spotting Jaina in the back line not too far away. However, Arthas misses his Howling Blast, so most of Navi switches over to Joanna to help Sonya, who has been doing a significant amount of damage. I say most because Kerrigan is still focused on the back line and cannot effectively reach Joanna, so she is on her own targets, making the focus fire less than effective. At this point, everyone turns their attention to Kerrigan as Joanna gets her Divine Palm, making Joanna safe and Kerrigan a prime target as she is obliterated. So with Kerrigan as the first casualty, let's pause here and look at the health of the folks that are left. Although they're down a Kerrigan, Navi can look at the situation and say, hey, we actually have more health, we may still be able to pull out a trade here. Tyrael goes back in and begins working on Muradin to try and finish off his health. However, if you've been paying attention, you know Muradin has not yet used his Dwarf Toss and still has an escape. They back off and turn their attention to someone that does not, in this case opting to go for Joanna and Sylvanas. However, if you look to the right of the screen, you'll see Sonya has decided she has had enough and she is leaving this engagement as Brightwing is going to blink in on Tyrael to give him a quick heal. As Sonya has mounted up and decided maybe this is a good engagement and comes back onto the screen, as Tyrael becomes a victim of the focus fire that Navi could not emulate themselves in this particular fight. And that's pretty much the story of this entire engagement. While DK seemed to be picking their targets and peeling correctly, Navi, probably because of how badly the game had been going for them so far, was completely disjointed and had chosen to engage on different targets. In the end, this is going to cost them severely as they're going to lose the keep and they're going to have a 5-man wipe as Team DK begins to knock on the front door of their core. As we watch Team DK clean up the rest of Navi and finish off this keep, I just wanted to say that Babel and Gilly have done an excellent job with the casting on this particular match. And as we prepare to watch the fight at full speed with the knowledge that we have gained from picking it apart frame by frame, I'm going to go ahead and leave Gilly and Babel's commentary in it because they capture the absolute desperation that Navi has to be feeling at this particular point. Again, if you have not seen this match in its entirety, please go to the description. I've already got it timestamped for you so you can jump straight to Game 3. The whole series is worth watching, but this match in particular is one of the most fantastic examples of team fighting and comeback mechanics that I have ever seen in Heroes of the Storm. So without further ado, let's watch the same fight we just watched with build-up commentary by Babel and Gilly.
100 skull golem on top of a Sylvanas Babel. Yeah, they picked up their heroic abilities, but it's already at the keep stage.
It seems like they just lost way too much in the early game. They lost like 7 kills as well as 2 forts, and that's really punishing the team right now. They can try and play catch up, but it's not going to be easy for them. The whole team is just slowly comprehending this. They're just taking a step back. They're not really soaking the lanes, plus it's Haunter Mines. You know, there's not really a lane to soak.
Right, and looking at the heroic abilities, you guys were right on the money with the Summon Syndragosa as well as Sanctification, the Maelstrom, Wrath of the Berserker. Even though I would love some Leap, I guess it will be Wrath of the Berserker. And then, of course, Blink Heal 2 for Brightwing.
Yeah, well, Navi is just struggling to defend this right now, and Team DK, they don't even really have to bother themselves with the Grave Golem that's pushing down the bottom side. Here comes Syndragosa, maybe a good engagement, post level 10. We'll see Navi going into position there. Sanctification coming out, the whole team moving forward. They know they can't take this fight, but the Ring of Frost connects, and it seems like Arthas is dropping way too much HP. Kerrigan, the first one to go down, Eternal Scout. Nova's getting saved by the Divine Palm, and the whole team still want to push ahead, but Nova's HP is just so low. Alex the Progi trying to zone out the enemy. Here comes the Brightwing, Bling Hill, but it's not gonna be now. Down goes the Tyrael, down goes the Arthas, and it seems like Navi is just falling apart. We have the Grave Golem knocking on the keep. This just may be the fastest game we've seen the whole day, and Navi goes, it's a 5-man team wipe. The keep goes down, the Golem is still alive, and this is really disastrous.
Or is it? Tune in next week as we examine the comeback from Team Navi. In the meantime, I want to say thank you for watching. Please go to josheb.com for all your Josheb gaming needs, like and subscribe the video, and tune in for more.